Cody's Caravan. We're in Carmichael this morning. We're hanging out with the Orchid Avengers. They have gathered here to teach us and give us knowledge. Your name is, sir?
Alan Koch.
And?
Dave Sorokowski.
These two guys, they are growing some stuff. You guys are in Lincoln, and you're both like the orchid guys.
Oh, we love to grow orchids.
You love to grow orchids. And of course, you know Orchid Dave, famously, who gave me the orchid and said, you can do this, you can do this.
You can do it.
Okay, Ashley, are you there?
Of
are
course
you there,
I am here.
Ashley?
Yes.
Okay, so the first question you had was the ice cube method.
Yes.
Okay. Fellas?
Does the monkey in the jungle drop an ice cube on the plant? Absolutely not. Rain comes down on that plant and leaches all the salts out of it.
Yeah. So that's bunk. That's bunk. Okay, Ashley, your second question was?
If an orchid is beautiful blue, a beautiful pop of blue, and it all of a sudden turns white, what does that mean?
Well, Ashley, we got some more bad news for you. So she had a blue orchid and it turned white because it was all a lie.
It was all a lie. So what they do is they take a white orchid, a white phalaenopsis, and they inject dye into the flower spike so that the color goes into the flower. So and it turns it blue, and it'll be blue for a while. And then the next time it produces a new flower spike, you're going to have a white orchid, as it should be.
Sorry, Ashley. You're 0 for 2 at orchid questions
You know what, Cody? It was actually a viewer. Which, if they're watching right now,
was it?
I'm so sorry.
It was all a lie. Okay, we've been teasing this plant. This plant right here, tell us the story. How old is this?
This plant was made in the 1890s. We register crosses. It was registered in 1896 with the Royal Horticultural Society. It was the first cross ever to combine two different genera of orchids, and it was done by the firm of Veitch in England. And this plant will grow outdoors down to 22 degrees here.
That's got some history behind it.
Yeah.
That's got some history.
So,
yeah.
My grandfather made hooch during the Prohibition years, and the person who brought this over from England in the 1920s didn't understand our Prohibition laws and had a great friendship with my grandfather. And so he says, you know, in Santa Monica, California, this will grow like a hedge outdoors. And so this was a hedge at my grandmother's house. And before they tore it down to build an apartment, I went and rescued it. And this plant is still what we call unvirused. The virus is a disease on orchids. And for some reason, this plant is still healthy after all of those years. And they're all divisions from that plant that was brought over from England.
That is amazing. Okay, real quick, Dave, let's go over here because I just want to show them real quick. This all came from the same seeds. Yes. But it's so different, the different colors and everything.
So the various, so an orchid would produce a seed pod when it gets pollinated, and that seed pod will have potentially millions of seeds in there. And of those plants, of those seeds, the diversity that can come out of that. So this was a single seed pod from one orchid, and it produced all these different variations from white to these blotched, there was a striped version.
Fascinating.
Absolutely fascinating.
Fascinating. That is just the tip of the orchid iceberg, if you will. And once again, don't put ice cubes in your orchids. That's a bad idea. All right, more from the Orchid Show coming up. Back to you.
Thanks, Code.
All a lie. It was all a lie.
As Biggie said,
It was all a dream.
it was all a dream.